Booty, welcome back to my channel. Today we're here to continue our series. We're reading together Maya Angelou's second memoir, Gathered Together in My Name. In my previous video, I read the introduction and chapter 1. Today we're going to be reading chapters 2, 3, and 4. So if you're new to the channel and you'd like to start with the first chapter, you can go ahead, click the playlist. I've created a brand new playlist entitled Gathered Together in My Name, so you can start there. Otherwise, today we're going to continue with chapter 2. In this edition of the book, chapter 2 begins on page 11. If you have a copy of the book, you can read along with me. Otherwise, you can just listen to me read. We're going to start with chapter 2. Can you cook Creole? I looked at the woman and gave her a lie as soft as melting butter. Yes, of course. That's all I know how to cook. The Creole Cafe had a cardboard sign in the window which bragged, "Cook wanted $75 a week." As soon as I saw it, I knew I could cook Creole, whatever that was. Desperation to find help must have blinded the proprietress to my age, or perhaps it was the fact that I was nearly 6 feet and had an attitude which belied my 17 years. She didn't question me about recipes and menus, but her long brown face did trail down in wrinkles, and doubt hung on the edges of her questions. Can you start on Monday? I'll be glad to. You know it's 6 days a week. We're closed on Sunday. That's fine with me. I like to go to church on Sundays. It's awful to think that the devil gave me that lie, but it came unexpectedly and worked like dollar bills. Suspicion and doubt raced from her face, and she smiled. Her teeth were all the same size, a small white picket fence semicircled in her mouth. Well, I know we're going to get along. You're a good Christian. I like that. Yes, ma'am, I sure do. My need for a job caught and held the denial. What time on Monday? Bless the Lord. You get here at 5. 5 in the morning. Those mean streets before the thugs had gone to sleep, pillowing on someone else's dreams. Before the streetcars began to rattle, their lighted insides like exclusive houses in the fog. 5? All right, I'll be here at 5 Monday morning. You'll cook the dinners and put them on the steam table. You don't have to do short orders. I do that. Mrs. Dupree was a short, plump woman of about 50. Her hair was naturally straight and heavy, probably Cajun, Indian, African, and white, and naturally Negro. And what's your name? Rita. Marguerite was too solemn and Maya too rich sounding. Rita sounded like dark, flashing eyes, hot peppers, and Creole evenings with strummed guitars. Rita Johnson. That's a right nice name. Then, like some people do to show their sense of familiarity, she immediately narrowed the name down. I'll call you Reet, okay? Okay, of course. I had a job, $75 a week. So I was Reet. Reet, petite, and gone. All Reet. Now, all I had to do was learn to cook. That's chapter 2. Let's read chapter 3. I asked old Papa Ford to teach me how to cook. He had been a grown man when the 20th century was born and left a large family of brothers and sisters in Terre Haute, Indiana, always called the East Coast, to find what the world had in store for a good-looking colored boy with no education in his head, but a pile of larceny in his heart. He traveled with circuses, shoveling elephant mess. He then shot dice in freight trains and played coach in back rooms and shanties all over the northern states. I never went down to Hang'em High. Them crackers would have killed me. Pretty as I was, white women was always following me. The white boys never could stand a pretty N-word. By 1943, when I first saw him, his good looks were as delicate as an old man's memory, and disappointment rode his face bareback. His hands had gone. Those gambler's fingers had thickened during the Depression, and his only straight job, carpenting, had further toughened his money makers. Mother rescued him from a job as a sweeper in a pinochle parlor and brought him home to live with us. He sorted and counted the linen when the laundry truck picked it up and returned it, then grudgingly handed out fresh sheets to the roomers. He cooked massive and delicious dinners when Mother was busy, and he sat in the tall ceiling kitchen drinking coffee by the pots. Papa Ford loved my mother, as did nearly everyone, with a childlike devotion. He went so far as to control his profanity when she was around, knowing she couldn't abide cursing unless she was the curser. Why the do you want to work in a goddamn kitchen? Papa, the job pays $75 a week. Busting some goddamn suds? Disgust wrinkled his face. Papa, I'll be cooking and not washing dishes. Colored women been cooking so long, thought you'd be tired of it by now. If you'll just tell me, got all that education, how come you don't get a goddamn job where you can go to work looking like something? I tried another tack. I probably couldn't learn to cook Creole food anyway. It's too complicated. She ain't nothing but onions, green peppers, and garlic. Put that in everything and you got Creole food. You know how to cook rice, don't you? Yes. I could cook it till each grain stood separately. That's all then. Them geeches can't live without swamp seed. He cackled at his joke and recalled a frown. Still, don't like you working as a goddamn cook? Get married, then you don't have to cook for nobody but your own family. She. That's chapter 3. Let's read chapter 4. The Creole Cafe steamed with onion vapor, garlic mist, tomato fogs, and green pepper sprays. I cooked and sweated among the cloying odors and loved being there. Finally, I had the authority I had always longed for. Mrs. Dupree chose the daily menu and left a note on the steam table informing me of her gastronomic decisions. But I, Rita, the chef, decided how much garlic went into the baked short rib a la Creole, how many bay leaves would flavor the steamed Shreveport tripe. For over a month, I was embroiled in the mysteries of the kitchen with the expectancy of an alchemist about to discover the secret properties of gold. A leathered old white woman, whom mother found, took care of my baby while I worked. I had been rather reluctant to leave him in her charge, but mother reminded me that she tended her white, black, and Filipino children equally well. I reasoned that her great age had shoved her beyond the pale of any racial differences. Certainly, anyone who lived that long had to spend any unused moments thinking about death and the life to come. She simply couldn't afford the precious time to think of prejudices. The greatest compensation for youth's illness is the utter ignorance of the seriousness of the affliction. Only after the mystery was worn down to a layer of commonness did I begin to notice the customers. They consisted largely of light-skinned, slick-haired Creoles from Louisiana who spoke a French patois only a little less complicated than the contents of my pots and equally spicy. I thought it fitting and not at all unusual that they enjoyed my cooking. I was following Papa Ford's instructions loosely and adding artistic touches of my own. Our customers never ate, paid, and left. They sat on the long backless stools and exchanged gossip or shared the patient philosophy of the Black South. Take it easy, Greasy, you got a long way to slide. With the tolerance of ages, they gave and accepted advice. Take it easy, but take it. One large ruddy man, whose name I never knew, allowed his elbows to support him at the 12-stool counter and told tales of the San Francisco waterfront. They got wharf rats who fight a man flat-footed. No, a voice wanted to believe. Saw one of those suckers the other night, backed a cracker up against a cargo crate. Hadn't been for me and 2 other guys, colored guys, naturally, he'd have run down his throat and walked on his liver. Near the steam counter, the soft sounds of black talk, the sharp reports of laughter, and the shuffling feet on tiled floors mixed themselves in odorous vapors, and I was content. That's the end of chapter 4. We're going to stop there. So I hope you'll join me next time as we continue. We'll be back next time for chapter 5 and beyond. This is Maya Angelou's second memoir, Gathered Together in My Name. We're going to be reading aloud all the chapters here on the channel. If you're new to the channel and new to the series and you'd like to start at the beginning, there is a playlist down below where I'm going to link this and all future videos. You can start at the beginning and work your way to the end. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Let's talk in the comments. Let me know if you've read others of Maya Angelou's books and how this one so far compares with what you've read otherwise. Thanks for watching this video. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's talk down there. So until next time, happy reading. Bye.